Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. Twitter has been in the news a lot lately. The issues are worth studying even for those who don't use Twitter. If you care about fairness, equality, and honesty, you will want to follow this story. Twitter has been accused of helping Democrats and hurting Republicans, and they weren't all that cagey about it. Deputy General Counsel for Twitter was James Baker, yes. The same James Baker who was right smack in the middle of the Hillary Clinton investigation, the Russia investigation, and met with DNC lawyers about spreading damaging information about former President Trump. That's some irony, isn't it? Peddling false information while you're at the FBI, but suppressing accurate information when you're at Twitter. Not surprisingly, he is unemployed for now. Private companies prop up people they like and ignore those they don't all the time. Taco Bell thinks we want to see more Pete Davidson, allegedly a comedian who made fun of a Navy SEAL who lost an eye. Private companies aren't subject to the First Amendment, but they are subject to us. We can not use or buy their products. Is there sufficient entanglement between government and big tech or social media to warrant investigation? Should the monopolies be dispersed? Joining us now is the soon-to-be chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer from the great state of Kentucky. Welcome to you, Chairman. Thank you for joining us. All right, you're a smart guy. This is my legal conundrum. I think I've got it resolved. Twitter's a private company, but it certainly does seem that there is some government entanglement, statutorily, and because law enforcement and our surveillance community kind of uses them sometimes. Are you convinced there's sufficient basis for you and your committee to haul them before you and investigate?
Well, you're exactly right, Trey, and they benefit from liability protection. But the thing that concerns me most with respect to our investigation is what role did the government play in the censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop stories, especially the FBI? Because what we know now is the FBI had that laptop for nearly a year. They knew darn well what was on that laptop. They knew all the incriminating evidence that was in the laptop with respect to the president of the United States, not just his family, but also the future presidential candidate. So what we want to know is what role they played in telling those three executives in the first Twitter dump to suppress the story. Because I think you've seen, and you did a great job with Mr. Baker, he has a pattern of doing this, and I wonder who else at the FBI has a pattern of suppressing free speech, especially in censoring conservatives.
All right, Chairman, you probably recall House Democrats decided to bring in all the oil and gas companies before your committee when you were in the minority. So I guess they don't really have an argument about not investigating private companies because God knows they did it at least twice and maybe more than that. So are you getting any pushback from them? Are they going to join? I mean, they want to talk to Elon Musk, too. Are they going to join you in your request?
All they've done is criticize, Trey. I'm sure that would come as no surprise to you. They were very interested in oversight of the Trump administration. They were very interested in investigating the Trump administration. And lo and behold, they're still investigating the Trump administration 2 years after his administration. But surprisingly, they have no interest in investigating the Biden administration, despite the fact that we have spent trillions of dollars, despite the fact that there have been report after report of waste, fraud, and abuse, especially with all the COVID money. And then you take the laptop, which shows that there has been influence peddling on a scale that we've never seen in the United States of America. What party wouldn't want a true investigation to determine whether or not, A, there's corruption, and B, whether or not this administration is compromised because of the millions of dollars that they've taken from China and Russia?
All right, Congressman, you are soon to be the chairman of the committee with the largest investigative power, but you're also a good colleague, so you're not going to step into other people's lanes. I mean, you mentioned DOJ, that would be Jimmy Jordan. How are you going to work with the other committees to make sure that you're not fighting with each other, but fighting alongside one another?
Great question. I have big shoes to fill. The last Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee was Trey Grady, just so everyone in America knows that. So it's tough to follow people like Tom Brady and Trey Gowdy, but I'm going to try to do it. With respect to working with other committees, Congressman Jordan and I communicate on a daily basis. There's so much overlap in what we're doing, but anytime we get a whistleblower with the FBI, anytime we uncover something with the Biden administration that has the FBI's fingerprints or the DOJ's fingerprints on it, we then communicate with Jordan. I've already been meeting with committee chairs in the other committees. You talked about big tech. The Energy and Commerce Committee is very interested in big tech and the liability protections that they receive. Now that we know that they were censoring free speech, obviously that's a problem that the Energy and Commerce Committee is going to look into. So I'm going to make sure that we're the lead on all things oversight and investigations, but we're also going to work with every other committee to make sure there's not a duplication of services and that we can get all this work done, because there's been no oversight over the past 2 years. Joe Biden has had a free pass to do whatever he wants, to spend our tax dollars any way he wants without any repercussions, without any oversight, without holding anyone accountable for waste, fraud, and abuse. That changes on January the 3rd in a Republican majority.
James Comer from the great state of Kentucky. I can tell you this, if you show up for work sober and within an hour or so of being at the right time, you will surpass all of the previous Republican chairs of the Oversight Committee. That's a very low threshold that you have to meet. So thank you. We'll be watching you come the new Congress in January.
Thanks for having me, Trey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.